Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video giving my thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 5 and how I think the whole Eugene cure situation is going to play out. So I'm going to title this video simply, Does Eugene Really Have a Cure with regards to The Walking Dead Season 5? So yeah, this one will contain spoilers for anyone who has not read the Walking Dead comic book series, and also we'll do some predictions on Season 5 and how it's going to play out with Eugene in the series. Now, to answer the question simply, and the reason why I'm doing this video is because I realize that a lot of people don't read the Walking Dead comic book series. In fact, I would go as far as to say about 90% of people who watch the television series do not read the comic book series. So, that said, this is for those 90% as well, as for people who read the comic book series and like Eugene as a character and want to hear my thoughts on this topic, because it is a big topic in the show. It's a lot of what drives the plot through this current time period. You guys have heard in the end of Season 4 within the last few episodes how convinced Abraham is that the mission is they have to get Eugene to Washington, D.C. because he's been in contact with people there. Now, those of you who have read the comic book series know that that's actually not the case. It's not true, and he does not really have a cure, at least not with regards to the infection. Now, here's the thing. This one is a little bit more complicated than that, and I like to think of it like this. In terms of him having a cure to stop people from turning to zombies when they die, he doesn't. He doesn't have a vaccine, or he doesn't have any kind of cure with regards to that, and he's not going to be getting one. However, he does come up with something interesting, which is kind of a cure to the zombie situation, although it's a little bit more colder than what you'd think. It doesn't involve needles and a vaccine. Instead, it involves bullets and casting bullets. So, in a way, at least this is the way I like to think of it, he does kind of have a cure for the zombie apocalypse. His cure for zombies is to create ammunition. Now why is that so useful? Well, because as you go through a zombie apocalypse, within a few years, of course, as you get into maybe, I don't know, the third, fourth year, you're going to find that essentially all of the ammunition has been used up by people. Anyone who is surviving, who's been surviving even into a year, 2 years, 3 years, we've seen it in the Walking Dead television series as well as the comic book series. People like Shane, characters like that in the first couple seasons, they just burn through ammunition because the zombie virus, of course, spreads, right? You get more and more walkers, and as an example, the whole Herschel's barn thing, when they let the walkers out of the barn, pretty much dead already, Season 2, and they just unload on them, right? Just tons of ammunition. By the time you get into that third, fourth year, most of the ammo is going to be used up, and you're going to have to resort to fighting hand-to-hand against tons of zombies, which is I would say very dangerous, because even though you can do it, you can become good at it, like Michonne, for example, if you're dealing with huge packs, it can be very, very difficult, and it would be really easy to get scratched or get bitten, even though at this point we still don't know if scratches do turn people. So his kind of answer to that, or his cure, or his response to overcoming the zombie illness, or his solution to the problem, is to create new ammunition, to cast bullets using dyes, and to match them up with proper weapons, and to create stockpiles, as many as you want, of ammo, to be able to just create a factory and constantly turn out ammunition, constantly smash down any zombies that come near you. Now, in the comic book series, he even goes further than that. In addition to be able to always giving your group ammunition to be able to kill pretty much as many walkers as come through, he also creates strategies to create food with mills and things like that, and also to send scouts out from a community in order to see herds coming and to essentially steer them off course. So to get their attention, steer them away, and then kind of lose them and go back to the community. So he is a very, very useful character, and as we get to see where we're at right now in the comic book series, a couple years after a time skip from, I want to say, about probably what would be maybe Season 8 or Season 9, so a couple year time skip after that, to the point where we're a few years, we're many years into the zombie apocalypse. he comes up with all of those different strategies to really keep the community safe, to essentially overcome zombies. Not that they aren't still a threat to some capacity. They do still kill people here and there. But with all these things in place, they'll never really, I wouldn't think, by themselves, completely destroy a community, as long as there's no other attacking survivor groups involved. It is sort of a cure or a solution to how to survive in the zombie apocalypse, and Eugene comes up with a lot of these ideas, as well as teaches others in the community how to do these things or these strategies, so that the group can pretty much restart civilization, can restart humanity. So he's a crucial character of the series, and he is actually as important as Abraham thinks he is. It's just that at that current time he had told Abraham a lie in order to keep him alive, hoping that there would be this cure that maybe they could. Because if you think about what would a cure really mean, what could you use a zombie cure? How could they cure this thing, as Gareth says in season 5? Could they use, could they inject already turned zombies with something to turn them back to life? No, they're already dead, right? You can't bring them back to life anyway. So the only cure would really be to vaccinate people so that if they're bitten, they don't turn, or when they die, they don't turn. Which, is how useful is that anyway? A bullet could do the same thing. If you have a bullet, you could just put someone down as soon as you see them, and no big deal. So, kind of interesting. That's the way I like to think of it. Does he really have a cure? Not really, but in a way, yes, he does. He's got a few, even better than a cure. He's got all these strategies that can allow people to overcome zombies, which is really, really cool. Their group anyway. So, in terms of season 5, obviously that's way ahead. Like, I've given you guys kind of a roadmap of where it's going to go in the long run over the next couple years in Walking Dead time, right? But at the current time being, of course, I think they're going to do something along the lines of what they did in the comic series. It can't be exactly the same because Rick doesn't have the phone and all that. But I am looking forward to when they kind of figure out that this whole mission is bogus. You got to think that Rick is going to be suspicious, because he's shown some really good deductive reasoning skills in the series already. Of course, as a result of being a cop and all that, he's good at detecting liars and stuff like that, because police officers deal with people lying all the time and things like that. So it's a good profession to be in, to go into a zombie apocalypse to survive. So cool. So those are kind of my thoughts on the Eugene. Does he really have a cure? Not really, but in a way, yeah. He's got a solution. He's got even better than a cure. He's got a solution, which is really cool. So let me know what you guys think about the character. Great character. What you think about how we're going to see it play out in season 5. I do still think it'll be Rick that kind of figures it out that he's lying, but maybe they'll kind of work in that whole casting bullets thing as part of it in the series, because maybe Kirkman hadn't thought of that by the time he brought that up in the comic book series, if you guys know what I mean, which then happens down the road later on. So cool stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I got to say for this one, guys. If you have any other video suggestions, please private message them to me through YouTube. If you like this video, if you want to help support the channel, please do me a favor. Please thumb it up below. As always, share it, favorite it, and yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, as always. Same peace.